everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Study with Soumya. I hope this channel is helping a lot and we are trying our best, our team are trying our best so that we can reach out to more and more students. We can help you out in many ways. So make sure to subscribe this channel if you haven't subscribed yet. This channel is definitely going to help you. Also don't forget to join our Telegram channel, that is Placement Foringe. The link for the Telegram channel is given in the description itself. So from there you can join. Already we are having a family of many students, so join there and definitely we will help you out in various ways. So let's start with the video. In this video, we are going to discuss the important and previously asked aptitude questions for TCS and QT. This video is definitely going to be very helpful for all the students who are having TCS and QT in upcoming days. So make sure to watch the complete video, because what we have analyzed that if your apti part is good, if you have scored good in apti part, and maybe a case that sometimes students due to some compiler issue or any other issue cannot complete the coding part. So if your cognitive skills part is good, definitely there are 95% chances to get shortlisted for interview. So that's why do more and more focus on this round. So let's start with the questions now. So here's the first question. A thief is noticed by a policeman from a distance of 200 meters. The thief starts running and the policeman chases him. The thief and the policeman run at the rate of 10 km and 11 km per hour respectively. The distance in meters between them after 6 minutes is going to be. So basically thief and policeman should be running in the same direction, right? So what we can do, first of all, we can calculate the relative speed. So in the question itself, it is mentioned the thief and the policeman run at the speed of 10 km and 11 km. So thief speed is 10 km per hour and policeman speed is 11 km per hour according to the question, right? So the relative speed, see, if they both are running in same direction, then we have to in relative speed we have to do the subtraction, and if they are running in the opposite direction, then we have to do the addition. And these small strategies are going to help you a lot in case of aptitude part, right? So here they both are moving in same direction, so relative speed is going to be 11 minus 10, that is 1 km per hour, right? Now what next they have given, they want to determine the distance covered in 6 minutes, right? So for this, what is the formula for distance? Speed into time, right? Distance we have to determine, speed is given to us 1 km per hour, that is relative speed that we have calculated, and the time is in minutes. So make sure to convert the time in hour, right? So basically it is going to give us 6 by 60, that is going to be 1 by 10 kilometer. Now they are asking the distance in meter, so for this we can do 1 kilometer equal to 1000 meter, we all know. So 1000 upon 10, this is going to give us 100 meter. So the correct answer for this question is 100 meter, that is the distance between them is going to be 100 meter after 6 minutes, right? I hope you understood the question. Let's move to the next question now. Walking 6/7 of his usual speed, a man gets late by 12 minutes. The usual time taken by him to cover that distance is. So basically for this you must be knowing a concept. So just a simple formula is always going to be there in case of time, speed and distance questions. So this is also time, speed and distance questions. So here what you can see, distance is constant, right? Because here he has increased the speed, right? And some time conversion is there, but distance he is covering is constant, right? So if distance is constant, what we can determine that speed is directly inversely proportional to time, right? Speed is inversely proportional to time. So if speed will increase, time will decrease. Obviously this is a fact, so I don't think that I have to explain more about this. So this is a fact. If your speed is more, time taken will be less, right? So here what he has done, he is walking 6/7 of his usual speed. So the ratio of original speed and change speed is given as, original speed is given as 7/6, right? So this is the ratio given to us. Now what they are saying that see, in that case distance is constant. Distance is constant, so speed must be directly proportional to time, right? So in this case 7/6 is the ratio for speed. Then what is going to be the ratio for time? It is going to be the 6:7, right? Also, this was the concept when distance is constant. Distance is constant. What if speed is constant? Then we can determine that distance is directly proportional to time. What if time is constant? So then distance is directly proportional to s. So these are the conclusions you can make according to the thing that is constant given to you in the question itself, right? So they are saying that man gets late by 12 minutes if he is walking 6/7 of his usual speed. But here you can see there's a difference of 1 only. There's a difference of 1, but in question they are saying it is 12 minutes. So here 1 equal to 12 minutes, right? 1 is equated to 12 minutes. So what is the usual time taken by him to cover that distance? So usual time is given to us is 6. So 6 1 is 6, 6 12 is 72 minutes, right? So the usual time taken by him to cover that distance is going to be 72 minutes. Or if in hour I will convert this, then it is going to be the 1 hour and 12 minutes, right? So this is going to be our correct answer. See guys, I'm explaining to you, that's why I'm taking more time, but you can see that is the solution that, what I did, and the question is solved. So these are the small strategies that you can follow while solving the question. No formula is required, nothing else is required. If you will see the same question, if you will Google it, you will definitely find some formulas and all. But believe me guys, when I was solving the question, when we used to solve the question during exam, the formula and all just slipped into our mind. So make sure to be clear about the concepts. And I just told what are the concepts being followed. These things, right? So if you are clear about the concept, you can just solve this question in seconds. Within 30 to 40 seconds, you will get the answer. Right? So that is the thing. Let's move to the next question now. Okay, so this is a simplification based question, right? It is a simplification based question. This time in NQT October, in NQT Feb as well, too many questions were from algebra simplification, right? So that's why I included this question as well. And also some students got some questions regarding like kind of similar to this one, right? So for this, what is needed? You should be clear about the squares, right? It is very important. You must be knowing that what is 12 square equal to, that is 144, 13 square equal to 169. गाइस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि आपको स्क्वायर्स पता हो. इससे क्या होगा, इससे आपका टाइम रिड्यूस होगा. अदरवाइज आप इस क्वेश्चन को सॉल्व करने में अराउंड 3 to 4 मिनट्स ले लेंगे, and that is going to be very harmful for you, because when solving these sort of questions and when attending the competitive exam, accuracy matters but time matters a lot. But this time also many students told that they missed the aptitude part, or many of the questions were remaining, but they couldn't solve these questions because time was very less. So their speed was slow. What was the reason? Speed was slow, right? So for this, what you can do, what is the strategy that you can follow? If you are not good at any concept, for example, you are not good at SI and CI, and you are giving your time to solve this question, you already know, आपको पता है कि आपको ऐसा इसलिए नहीं आता है, तो उस पर अपना टाइम वेस्ट मत करिए. उसमें इस बार जो है, दिस टाइम TCS हैज नो नेगेटिव मार्किंग, तो आप रेंडमली कोई भी आंसर चूज कर लो. ठीक है, आप रेंडमली यू कैन चूज एनी आंसर एंड मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. अदरवाइज यू आर जस्ट वेस्टिंग योर टाइम एंड इट विल लीड टू नो आउटपुट. ठीक है, तो जो क्वेश्चन आपको आते होंगे वो भी छूट जाएंगे, उनमें भी फिर आपको गलत लगाना पड़ेगा. So make sure, if you are sure, like if you haven't revised SICI or any other topic, so don't ever try to solve the question. Leave this as it is, or randomly choose any answer, because time matters a lot. Otherwise this is going to be harmful for you, right? So here 169, this is given, square root of 169 is 13, right? Now we have 108 plus 13, that is going to give us 121. Square root of 121 is 11, right? So here we have 38 plus 11. Square root of 49, we all know that is 7. So next we have 57 plus 7, that is going to give us 64, right? And square root of 64 is 8. So then we have 8 plus 8, which is going to give us 16. Square root of 16 is 4, right? So the correct answer for this question is 4. You can solve this question in just in seconds if you are clear what is the square root of 16, 108. And for this, you must be aware of the squares. Sometimes it is helpful if you are aware of the cubes as well. For example, what is the cube of 12? 1728. Just in मतलब आपको रटा होना चाहिए क्या होता है क्यूब. 11 cube 1331. These things are going to help you, right? Many of the students ask the strategy to solve the aptitude question, how we can be quick. So these things are there. You have to be aware of these things. You have to be clear about it. At least squares आपको 25 तक तो याद होने चाहिए. It is mandatory, right? Because these will help you to solve the problem quickly, right? And that matters a lot. Let's move to the next question now. So here the question is, okay, we have to determine here x cube plus 1 by x cube. So this sort of question was also asked in TCS. That's why I have included here. So this question is based on identity. It is very, very important, guys. We are studying identities when we were in around, I should say, 7th to 8th class. तब से हम आइडेंटिटी पढ़ रहे हैं. a प्लस बी का स्क्वायर क्या होता है, a क्यूब प्लस बी क्यूब, ठीक है, a प्लस बी का होल क्यूब. We are learning those identity till then. A square minus b square, a minus b ka whole square, right? So the TCS is asking, so that is the thing. So make sure to revise all the identities. That is definitely going to be very, very helpful for you, right? So let us see this question. X plus 1 by x is given to us as 5. Now they are asking what is the value of x cube plus 1 by x cube, right? So what we can do, just do the cube from both the sides. X plus 1 by x का whole cube and 5 का cube. What is the formula for a plus b का whole cube, or basically x plus 1 by x का whole cube? So that is, let me write the formula here. A plus b का whole cube is a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. So that is the formula. Make sure to be clear about it. ऐसा ना हो कि आप पेपर के टाइम सोच रहे हो फॉर्मूला क्या है. You are wasting your time for sure. So make sure to revise all these important formulas. Okay, so that is going to be x cube plus 1 by x cube plus 3 into a. What is the value of a? X. B, it is 1 by x. Then we have x plus 1 by x. And that is going to be equal to 125, right? 5 cube is going to give us 125. Now you can see x cancel out, and x plus 1 by x is given to us as 5 here in the question itself. So we can definitely replace this x plus 1 by x by 5 itself, right? So let me write here. So x plus x cube plus 1 by x cube plus 3 into 5 equal to 125. X cube plus 1 by x cube, ये 3 into 5 is going to give us 15. And if अगर हम 15 को वहां ले जाएंगे तो what will be the answer? 110, right? So the answer for this question is 110. Let's move to the next question now. And if you are liking the videos, make sure to subscribe this channel, share this video with your friends as well. Definitely, for sure, it is going to be very, very helpful for them. Make sure to join our Telegram channel as well. And that's it. So this is a question from Profit and Loss. An article is sold at 10% loss. If the selling price is rupees 40 more, there will be a gain of 50%. The cost price of the article is. So they usually ask based on questions based on profit and loss. So make sure that you are clear about this. So for example, what we can assume as of now, that cost price of the article is 100. This is what we are assuming. So article is sold at 10% loss. 10% का loss हुआ है. So what is going to be the selling price? 90, right? So this is going to be selling price. Now you know the formula of loss. You know it, right? What is the formula for loss? CP minus SP. 100 minus 90 is going to give us 10, right? The formula for loss is CP minus SP, and in the case of profit, what is the formula? SP minus CP, right? Because जब profit ज़्यादा होगा तो value किसकी ज़्यादा होगी? SP की. That's why we have SP minus CP. Okay, so these basic formulas, you must be aware of them. Okay, and now they are saying if the selling price is rupees 40 more, there will be a gain of 15%, right? 15% is how much? Okay, so currently the price is 100, and if you will take 15% of 100, it is going to give us 15 itself. So 15% का gain होगा, then price is going to be 150, right? 150. So 150 minus 90 is equal to 40. That is what they are saying, right? So 150 minus 90 is going to give us 50. 11 में से 9 गया 25 equal to 40. 1 equal to 40 by 25, right? What is our CP? 100, right? This is what we have assumed. So 100 into 1, 100, 40 into 100 by 25, 25 4 100 equal to 160. So what is our actual cost price? From here, what we included, what is our actual cost price? 160 rupees. And that is what they were asking for. So the correct answer for this question is 160. So whenever they are asking for cost price or something, we usually do assume 100 initially 100 as the cost price. And from the assumption itself, keep solving the question. I hope you understood this question as well. So let's move further in the video. This question is also from profit and loss. In a certain store, the profit is 320% of the cost, right? So here also let's assume the cost price is 100 rupees. And if it is profit formula I just told that it is going to be SP minus CP. Profit they have given 320. CP we have basically assumed 100. So what is SP? 420, right? So SP is equal to 420. If the cost increases by 25%, so 25 currently we are assuming that it is 100. So अगर 100 से में 25% का increment हो गया, so what is going to be the next CP? 125 rupees. But they have mentioned that selling price remains constant. तो पहले selling price is 420, तो अभी भी 420 रहेगा, ठीक है? Approximately what percentage of the selling price is the profit? Okay, so here what is the profit in the second case? This is our second case, right? What is the profit? 420 minus 125, that is going to give us 295, right? That is going to give us 295. Now they are asking percentage of the selling price to the profit, right? So that's why we will take required percentage that they are asking is required percentage is equal to 295. They are asking on SP. What is the value of SP? 420 into 100. Now let's solve it out. So इसको solve करोगे आप तो solve करके आपका आंसर आ जाएगा इसमें 70%. ठीक है, आप इसको solve कर लेना and you will get the answer 70%. So the correct answer for this question is option B. Right? I hope you understood the question. In case of any doubt, do comment. Also guys, maybe a case sometimes video में कुछ by mistake कुछ गलत हो जाता है, so please don't fill out the comment box with those mistakes. You are smart enough to rectify those mistakes, because small mistakes is possible from anyone. So that is what I want to say. Next question. This is the question that I have put for homework. So the question says if two successive discounts of 50% and two successive discounts of 50% and 10% are offered, then what is the net discount in percent? So this is your homework. Make sure to solve this question. Make sure to comment it down. Definitely you will get the question in TCS and QT, some sort of like this only. So this is for your practice. It is your homework. Let's see the next question. Find the greatest number that will divide 390, 495 and 300 without leaving the remainder. Whenever you are getting these sort of numbers, smallest, greatest, so then you can conclude that for sure this question is from HCF and LCM part, right? So that is the thing. And whenever they are saying greatest number, in that case you have to find HCF, and if they are asking for smallest number, then you have to find LCM. This is the small like short tricks that I used to follow. That's why I shared the same with you as well. So here they are asking the greatest number, so we have to use the HCF here, HCF technique here basically. So what we have to do, whenever they are asking question like this, that there's a formula basically in HCF and LCM. It is mentioned that a number that will divide 390, 495 and 300. So that is the formula, that whenever they're asking that you have to determine the greatest number that will divide a comma b and c without leaving a remainder. So for this what you have to do, you have to take the HCF of, you have to take the HCF of a minus b minus c and c minus a, or a minus c, what whichever is greatest, a minus c, right? So a minus b, that is going to give us this 495 minus 390 is going to give us what? This is going to give us 105, right? And don't think this negative and all, you can convert it as b minus a. हमको negative नहीं करना है, जो भी कोई बड़ा हो उसको पहले subtract कर देंगे. That is the thing. So please don't comment that a minus b is going to give us negative number and all, right? And then we have 495 minus 300. So that is going to give us 495 minus 300 is going to give us 195, right? And if you will take the LCM of both of them, LCM अगर आप लोगे, so that is going to give us 15705, that is 15 13 जो 195, 7 and 13 is remaining one, right? So that is the thing. So here what is the HCF? 15, right? So the correct answer for this question is going to be the 50. 15 is the correct answer for this question. Let's move to the next question now. This question is from ages. Basically in this video I have tried to somewhat include questions from all the sections, all the topics that we usually do have in thesis. So that is the thing. The sum of the ages of husband and wife at present is 100. 10 years ago the ratio of their ages was 9:7. Determine the age of husband. So husband plus wife, sum of the ages is given as 100. 10 years ago, according to question, they are saying 10 years ago. So what will be their age? H minus 10 will be the age of husband, and W minus 10 is going to be the age of wife. The ratio provided to us is 9:7. So from here we can substitute the value of W as 100 minus H, because basically you want to calculate the age of husband, right? So you can substitute the value of W as 100 minus H. And for W, let us take 100 minus H minus 10 equal to N by 7. Let's solve it out. 7H minus 70. If you will solve it, it is going to give us 90 minus H, and that is going to give us 810 minus 9H. Take the H aside, so it is going to be 16H equal to 880. H equal to 16 5 80, 16 5 80. So the present age of, determine the present age of husband. So the present age of husband is 55 years, right? So I hope you understood the question. Don't think that questions are going to be very tough. They are going to be of cat level. For sure, that is not the thing. They are going to be very basic one. But you have to take care of time, because of the time you missed most of the questions, and you have to be aware of the important formulas. I'm saying this again and again. It is very important. They do ask a question on data interpretation as well, but they are very basic, right? They are very basic, but just a simple calculation is needed, and that's it. Okay, so this question is from work and wages. So two friends A and B were employed to do a work. Initial deadline was fixed at 24 days. Both started working together, but after 20 days, A left the work and the whole work took 30 days to complete. In how much time can B alone can do the work? In these sort of questions, you have to assume. Assumption is very much needed. So what we can do, currently they haven't mentioned work anywhere, that what is the total work. So let's assume total work is 24 itself, right? Because they have mentioned initial deadline was 24 days. So let's assume that total work is 24 days itself. Now what is happening, that both started working together, but after 20 days A left, right? So they are working for 24 days. They are working for 24 days, and also they are completing 24 work. So they are working one unit every day. Since they have worked for 20 days, let's suppose they have worked for 20 days only. Together A plus B has worked for 20 days. So how many work they have completed? 20, right? What is the remaining work now? 4 work is still remaining. This much work is still remaining. Now who will do this much work? B will do. And for doing this much work, how many days he is taking? 10 days. Because see, after 20 days, A left, right? So next 10 days is being taken by B to do the work. So what is the efficiency of B then? We can calculate it by 10 upon 4. Oh, sorry. So what is the efficiency in case of B? It is going to be 4 by 10, that is 0.4, right? First of all, you have to be aware of this formula, work equal to efficiency into time. So we have to calculate the efficiency here, right? So efficiency equal to what, how much work was remaining? 4, and time is 10 days. So that's why the efficiency of B is 0.4. Now they are asking how much time can B alone can do the work, right? So time they are asking, what is the total work? 24, and efficiency of B we have calculated as 0.4. So it is going to be 60. So in 60 days, B can complete the whole work by itself. Let's move to the next question. So in how many ways, this question is from permutation and combination. Guys, the question that I have included, you are also going to get the same kind of basic questions. So don't think that I have taken a very easy one or a difficult one, because you may get the question like this only. So in how many ways can a group of 5 members be formed by selecting 3 boys out of 6 and 2 girls out of 5? Very basic question, right? So this is based on combination. We have to select 3 boys out of 6. So 6C into 6C3, that is the way to select 3 boys out of 6. And next we have to select 2 girls out of 5. So 5C2, this is the way to select 2 girls out of 5. And they are asking the way, so it is going to be 6C3 into 5C2, right? So let's do further calculation. So 6 into 5 into 4, 3 into 2 into 5 into 4, 2 2 are 4, 3 into 2, 6, that is going to be 5 into 4, 20, into 500, into 2. So that is going to give us 200 ways. So answer is going to be 200. So this is the last question of this video. This is kind of based on logical series. You will definitely get any question, like some questions based on logical series also. So here we have to determine the next number in the series, right? So what we have, 70, 54, 45, 41. Next number you have to determine. So whenever these sort of question you are getting, just look into the digits. पहले आप क्या देखो, digits देखो. अगर digits जो है आसपास ही है, तो आप first approach that you will try is find out the difference between the digits. First approach आपको यही try करना है. If there is huge difference between the digits, then you can check for multiplication. अगर थोड़ा सा difference है, then check for difference or addition. These two things that you can try, right? So here we can see that they are kind of closer to each other. So let's try. What is the difference between 70 and 54? 16, right? Between 54 and 45, it is 9. Between 45 and 41, it is 4. So you can see this is 4 ka square, this is 3 ka square, this is 2 ka square. So the next one they are asking, so next one is going to be 1 ka square. So 41 minus 1 is going to give us 40. So the correct answer for this one is 40. Right? I hope you understood all the questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. You enjoyed solving the questions. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe this channel. Share this video with your friends as well. and keep preparing. And also don't forget to join our Telegram channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Keep learning.